I just want to say something. Thank you, Saddam, for checking on me. I saw those your tweets. Thank you very much. I've been trying to take care of myself. But I've been having conversation with people all over. People who maybe sometime when I go into Uber, I find out that I try to raise a conversation to see what's going on. I find out that majority of the younger people are the ones supporting Obi. And then the older people, whether educated or uneducated, they still believe in those propaganda and then conspiracy theory. Like somebody was telling me that, are you aware that Tinubu is convicted for, is it not convicted, was having a drug issues in America? Is a lie. That's his propaganda. And I just said, do you know me now? Because somebody is doctored. And these are elite, they are educated people. So it's one of the things I want us to continue to do is to see how we need to, with all they've been doing, have done, I find out to still believe they're lying against him. It's what some of those people
Uncle Guyemi, we're having problem with your network.
said, are you listening to me now? I've tried to do like a little research or survey around people. I find that most of the younger people in Lagos here that have interaction with or have interface with or have conversation with, many of them are younger people who want to vote against the establishment, middle-aged people want to vote against the establishment, but most of the younger people are following Peter Obi, especially most younger elite educated who can read, who know things going on. Also, we have this educated elderly Yoruba people who believes that all they are saying is a lie against him. Sometimes they believe that, it's not true. And I said, do you know the meaning of when something is docketed? Yes, he was stood in front of the judge that he committed this crime. And people never believe that. Two, I also have this group of people who are bigots, who just don't like the Igbo people. Who are, because Peter is Igbo, that's why they just say he's Igbo because he's Igbo. Yeah, and most of these people are Yorubas. And I felt so disgusted that with all we've done, I still have some set of people who could not think straight with level of education, exposure, academic accolades. From there, I now concluded that educations and academic accolade achievement does not make somebody to have sense. People love the way things are because some of the educated elite, they eat crumbs from the establishment and the way things are. But the younger people are the ones suffering it. And some of the educated elite have felt that as long as they can sort their children out. And that's it. So what I want us to do more in this, which I'm doing, is I've entered a lot of argument with people, family members, some of them hate me, but I try to see things with all this knowledge, academic achievement, you cannot read or I don't understand, or because your mind is blank because of hatred for a particular race. That's one of the worries I have as a moment. But with the younger people, especially the Yoruba younger people, prefer Peter Obi. They want Badewo Uzabo in Lagos. They want to do on Sonolu. Another thing I've done is that I find out that the Lagos state government have chained a lot of when by chain, they've tied down a lot of Lagos civil service, make them to join APC and forcing them to be campaigning for them. So we need to also work on those ones so that the majority of them need to see the light. Because many people still believe that it's a lie. I have somebody who have told me that he has done it before now, but it's not doing it again. And I told the person, do you know the meaning of somebody who have been a drug baron before? Do you know the meaning? To many of them, they don't understand. I found out that the literacy level of Nigeria is very, very high. People think having degrees or education makes them better. No. Many people academics or academic qualification or accolades that have not changed their mind. People are illiterate. That's the word. That's the right word. In advanced countries, many people, even though they don't have degrees, university degree or college degrees, they are literate. They know they are right under the law. The third thing I want to say is that I want to encourage other people.
Mr. William, please can you wrap up with this thought, please? We have virtually 12 minutes and I want to take others.
Sorry, Saddam. But the last thing I want to say is the issue of this INEC underage voters. It's saddening. The question is that they've been using what those guys discovered. They've been using people passport to create data for them. And the question is that how did they thumbprint it? How did they link those things, those photographs with a thumbprinted fingers? And that means we INEC need to do a kind of machine that when you put a younger age fingerprint there, it will detect it. But they won't do that. Thank you, everyone. I have a lot to say, but because of our time, and I still have Saturday, because we need to fight this battle. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We have our space on Saturday. Guys, if you're joining us for the first time, join us on Saturday. The space is already up there on the Jumbotron. You could just schedule it on Saturday, our space, 4 p.m. Nigerian time, God's willing. All right, let's move on real quick. Dari, you have the space, please. 3 minutes. Guys, well, I'm trying to make sure I clear everybody up here. We will still have the space going on after Daily Faro to me is done. But let's just have people contribute right now before he comes in. Dari, please, you have the space, please. 3 minutes.
Hey, Saddam. Hi, Omar. Hi, everyone. Good evening or good afternoon. What I just have to say is very quick. Congratulations to everyone. We are winning this battle. Months ago, they said they didn't have structures. They said one short devil came out and said they were just 4 people in a room. Now they are changing their whole story. And one thing that's very obvious is that the more obedience movement is growing, the more their candidate the more he keeps making mistakes. He goes everywhere and he starts saying rubbish. He misbehaves. He's about to fall down. He does so many things. So it's a sign that we are winning this battle. And the fact that these issues of INEC, that they are coming out, these discrepancies in voter registration, what we are seeing online, I've seen it myself. I did my own research and I've seen it. Is to show that, see, Peter Obi is not the one that haunts this whole election or movement or anything. God is with us. God is behind everything. People are praying. People are fasting. The real prophets they are with us. They are praying. The imams, they are with us. They are praying. They are telling people this is what you have to do, and they are praying that God will continue to expose them. It is not open high that someone will just come out and say, we want you to help us and make observations about something that's not okay in our system. It's not ordinary. Even themselves, they are saying that this is the first time they will be doing this. So what I would say is we should just keep working. We should keep working. This is a sign to everyone who is still on the sideline that Obi is winning this election in a landslide. Nothing is stopping it. All of them before, they were saying, oh, Wike this, Wike that. But they see now, Wike himself knows. He knows that if his person is to win the election in Rivers State, he must voice it out and say, Obi, come, I will support you. So what I just have to say is, please, if you're still on the sideline, it is better you join now and let us work together. Tribalism is not working again. Ethnicity, all these things they are doing, religion, whatever they are bringing in is not working again. We have to work together. We have seen it. They have done it. We have to work together and make things work for us as Nigerians. If we don't do it, our people will suffer. Some of us might be abroad, but our people at home will be the ones to suffer it. They were living on $150, $1 before. Now they are living under less, or they are living with less than $1 today. So we must do all in our capacity to make sure that Peter Obi wins. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my brother. I'm just trying to rush you guys so that we can have people coming as much as
Oh,
possible.
it's okay, man.
Thank you. Well, we'll still be here after Daily. I think Daily will be up for an hour or so. Let me bring in Jenny. Jenny, good evening. You have the space, please. 3 minutes as much as possible, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Saddam and Omar. Thank you for the space. This is actually one of the longest spaces I've been on. So let me quickly get to my point. Regarding everything going on, Tinubu's drugs and Deloitte scandal. Now I can remember like back then I was maybe I was like very very young, maybe in my teenage years and everything. So I remember then it was this Festus Keyamo carrying the whole Tinubu's forgery and perjury, case on his head. And I can't forget about it because I'm very close with my dad. So most times when he's watching the news, I'm like always there sitting beside him or sitting at his feet watching. So I got very involved in Nigerian politics, like following trends like from a very young age. So coming back now, I'm like, is it this same person that Keyamo actually fought tooth and nail about the forgery and perjury case? Then is it the same person who is also now trying to run for presidency? The very first time, like he came out and declared his race, his aspiration for running for presidency. I told my husband that, man, I don't get what is happening in this country. Is it that we have this very short memory that something happens and before you know we've forgotten? The same thing how people or however they did it to bring Buhari into power. Looking back then, my dad was always talking about it, that this same man back then in 1983 or 82, I'm not very sure, but I know it's between one of those years, that how can people actually stand and vote this person to come in? Well, anyway, we're all suffering the effect of his leadership. Now coming to presently now, Peter Obi. In fact, the way I've carried the thing on my head, people every day now, they'll send me a message, this one, we've not seen your post on WhatsApp, or you've not done broadcast, or you've not done this one, you've not done that one. And I'll just be laughing. I said, I know most of you, in your mind, you'll be like, oh, this one that I'm doing is just nonsense. APC man will win or PDP man will win. But I keep telling people that if we sit down and we don't do what we're supposed to do, we don't come out and vote, then we are going to suffer for the next 8 years. In fact, our children will even suffer with us, because once they win, it will continue. The whole thing will, the next person that would even take power in the after 8 years will still be their own minion. So in fact, the suffering will not even end. And people thinking they can just japa like that. Japa, everybody cannot leave the country. It's not possible. Everybody cannot leave the country. So it's high time we should not look at what the naysayers are saying, what they are doing, or whatever. In your own little way, in your own polling unit or whatever, do what you want to do. I myself have registered as an adult staff. They responded to me. Yeah, I got a mail, but then I don't know what was the next step. So I'm actually hoping that um I'll be shortlisted and I'll be recruited for that position, because I'm vested in this thing, because our future depends on Peter Obi winning come 2023. So whatever it is, I talk to people, I do everything. Even my dad in the village, he has taken it upon himself. When they go for meetings, he'll just call me and say, today PDP people came, that what they just did, they said they are promising them money and everything. That amongst them, they've decided that they will collect those monies, and when it's time for them to vote, they will vote for Peter Obi. That is not all this, that they are tired. Everybody is tired. Everybody's tired. The suffering is too much. The poverty rate in the land is crazy. So let's not listen to what every other person is saying. Yes, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, because taking
Please,
power
I've
from.
been waving. I've been
Oh,
waving. Please
sorry.
check your time,
Oh,
please. Thank you.
sorry. Thank you. Let me just round up. So let's just not give up. We should keep fighting. Thank you very much, Saddam. Thank you so much. I eat the
Thank you
mic.
very much, Jenny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to rush you guys, please. Thank you. Green Pastor, you have the space, please. Please, 2 minutes, please. If I'm waving, please just wrap up your thoughts. Green Pastor, are you there? Green Pastor, are you there? One. Okay. Philip.
Sorry, I'm actually, I just stepped out. I'm in a busy environment. I can't really talk right now, but I'll just be on,
When you're
away the
ready,
mic.
come back now. When you're ready, come back.
Yeah.
Sir Phillips, you have the space. Please go on, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity. I don't know with what I have to say. I don't know whether the time will be enough, though. I only want to talk about the beavers because I was opportunity to be one of the polling agents at the Ekiti State governorship election. So the thing I would say is this: basically, for an election to be rigged, it has to be with the assistance of the INEC. With the help of the beavers now, it will be very hard for it to be rigged if INEC has no hand in it. Okay, just like it's not like the card reader that has a slot where you can slot in your card. Instead, it does two things. One, it's used to recognize the voter, like to validate that okay, this person is the owner of the PVC. The next thing it does is to accreditate. This one now, at that stage, you don't need the card anymore. You don't need the PVC anymore. All you need is your fingerprint or your picture. So even though your this has been recognized, okay, that you are the owner of the PVC and you are at the right polling unit, if it does not accreditate you cannot vote. Okay, this is another reason why obedience need to be active in the polling unit for them to monitor what's going on, because that is when this thing will be rigged. If we have obedience as the polling agent, or let's say the presiding officer, that is the person in charge, he won't allow anyone that the beavers has not accepted to vote. Okay, which means if they are registering underage children now, or the PO will not allow them to vote because they are not qualified to vote, or even those at the polling unit won't allow them to vote. Then with your VIN, you cannot vote with your VIN. Like them having only your VIN, they cannot vote until you are present for that capture, for that biometrics. So basically, all I'm saying is this: rigging can only take place if INEC has hand in it, if the beavers has been programmed to work against any particular party or candidate. So obedience needs to be active at the polling unit. And also, before the election starts, they need to make sure that the number of accredited voters reads 0 in the beavers. With that, the more as you use this thing to accredit voters, the number will be counting. For example, if you accredit the first voter, the number will count to 1. It will continue like that. Those are the number that will be able to vote. Okay, so if the number of ballots that have been used in the polling exceed that number, that is overvoting, and following the electoral act, that polling result should be cancelled. Okay, so basically everything still falls back to that polling unit. We have to find a way to be very active at the polling unit in order to prevent any rigging from the INEC or any other political party. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Guys, one more time I say welcome to the Vawulence space. Thank you guys for sticking with us from 10 o'clock till now. You guys are amazing. Can anybody hear me, please? All right. So people complaining, please probably leave the space and come back. We told you that this space, we are scheduling the space today, and we are meant to have our one and only fiery, dogged, someone I have always listened to, and someone that I can always bank on because of how consistent he has been as a speaker on national issues, on issues that affect Nigerians, everyday Nigerians. And someone that I will always be proud and happy to say I am on the same side with him. There are some people that when you're having a campaign, you are in opposition to them, you will be scared, you will be worried, you will be like, this kind of person, because you know where they stand, you know where they stand, Wherever they are standing, they stand there gidigba. They stand strong with their heart, with their chest, with their mind. I am so proud, honestly, to have you, sir, on with us in our presence. Probably this is your first time of joining the Vawulence space. This is one space where obedience come in our numbers every Thursdays from 10 a.m. till we get tired, and Saturdays from 4 p.m. till we get tired. And sometimes we have emergency spaces depending on what is trending. We come in here and we energize the base. Actually, Peter Obi was with us on the space last week. His Excellency joined us last week, so it's a pleasure to have you on the space with us today. Guys, I told you Dele Farotimi will be with us on the space today, and Dele Farotimi is here. So please, I indulge you guys to give me some emojis. Give me some love emojis if you are ready to have Dele Farotimi dropping some violent bomb on this space today. Let me see all those love emojis going up in the room. Are you guys here or are you guys sleeping on your phones? I want to see all those emojis, ladies and gentlemen. Please, you are welcome. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, guys. I see it. Thank you very much, sir. You have an hour to spare with us here, and I appreciate every minute you're going to spend here. For me, it is a privilege to have you here with us, sir. If you can unmute your mic and talk to your people who have been here, some people, we lost a lot of people. But guys, before he comes in, please, do
I
us a
was
favor.
muted by the host.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
It's fine. It's
Sorry,
fine.
please. Guys, please retweet the space. Make tweets. Let them know that Dele is in the building with us. That voice that I've always wanted to have an interview with. I want to know his thought process. We have a topic, so you can see our topic. We're discussing how corrupt INEC is, and one particular place I wanted to bring you last week. We had this discussion on Afenifere and their whole endorsements, but we could not get you last week. But we are still discussing an issue I think you have. I really want to know what you think and what you have to say about Tinubu's drug and Deloitte scandal. But meanwhile, sir, probably can do us a favor by introducing yourself, talking to the people. We have Obedience here, we have Abados here, we have over 770 of us in the building already. So, sir, please, you have the space. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Chief. First thing first, the important thing is that before the person can be as stupid enough to become an Agbado brigade person or a Mekano boy, or the person is usefully obedient, the person is a Nigerian above all things. So regardless of how much we might disagree in our politics, I believe at the end of the day, we are united by the fact that we are all trapped in this space called Nigeria. And one way or the other, we have to find a way to make it work. So we would have our disagreements. Some of them will be very robust. Some people will not even be happy with the languages we would use. But the important thing is that they can take it for granted that we will be bound by the truth. And I think if we all agree to be bound by the truth, it shouldn't be too difficult to find solutions to our problems. So it's nice to be with you. I'm happy to have us range across the issues as the need might arise. God bless you all. I am usefully obedient, and I greet everybody who is equally the same. Those of you who are Mekanos and Agbados, may God touch you with repentance. Say amen.
Amen.
So,
On this space, in case you don't know, this is one space where we press their neck. We sit on their neck on this space. In fact, this is that space that you heard. Probably Peter will be saying, please reduce the tempo. You are the reason why we don't used to reduce tempo here. We go on them back to back, but based on facts and figures. Because
put it this way, you might decide to kill them with a shotgun, and I prefer my stiletto. The important thing is that they die.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because many of them have chosen not to see the light.
Well, when you say chosen not to see the light, you might actually be overestimating the mental capacity of those who have been deliberately subjected to weaponized ignorance. Yorubas will say, "Ebi o ki n wọnú kọ́rọ̀ mi wọ̀." If you translate that, it says that rationality ends where hunger begins. So how do you expect a people who have been subjected to weaponized poverty
We joke about the palliatives and all the madness that went with that. But the reality is that we're actually looking at a situation where a government, rulers, deliberately weaponized hunger. They had these things piled up in warehouses, but they would not release it for those who were starving during COVID. That should tell you about the system we are running now. So, yeah, our people's capacity to resist the madness has been limited by the weaponized hunger and poverty and ignorance.
So I want us to start this discussion with INEC first.
Okay.
I want to start this because for the past couple of days, since INEC released the whole registration online for people to go there and check the data and everything, it has been crazy. It has been crazy with the whole outpouring of I've been wondering how can we curb this menace, this underage voting that we have been seeing, double registration across from the north, double registration from the south, underage voting in the north majorly. And I don't know, but so many people have been worried. Well, all through our space, all through today, people have been complaining. I wish if we were here earlier on, you would have heard the whole lot. I don't know. I want to know from the part as a spokesperson to the campaign. I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't know if you guys, I know you guys had a match today, but I want to know, Nigerians want to know. For me, I'm not bothered if you guys are not doing anything. I feel we own the campaign, we the people. But the responsibility lies on you guys in the campaign also. I think if you could give us an insight to what you guys are doing, it will go a long way for us here, sir.
Okay. First thing first, there are no you guys. It's only us. It's only we. It's not you guys in the campaign. We're all in the campaign together. Believe it or not all of us will serve in the campaign council. But at the end of the day, the entirety of the obedient movement is predicated on the collective will of a people who are tired of the usual business. So first thing first, we're all in this together. And when you look at the INEC question you've asked, reality is that there is nothing those of us in the campaign can succeed at with that INEC problem in the absence of the close cooperation and alignment with those of you who are not working within the campaign. Now, we have plethora of problems lined up in relation to that INEC register. You find underage voting and registration. You find all sorts of double registrations. You find incongruous numbers coming up in places where you already are aware that there are population challenges, particularly because of the bandit attacks, ethnic wars, and cleansing. And yet you are seeing fantastic numbers, and then you are seeing evidence of underage registration. And it's easy to point at the north. But the reality is, even as you have pointed out, the thing is all over the country. It's not just in the north, even though you see a prevalence of the brazenness of underage registration taking place and being, at least that is what is mostly highlighted. But the truth is, it's a pan-Nigerian problem. And why is it pan-Nigerian? When we say INEC, we must deconstruct that word, deconstruct it. We are talking Nigerians. You're talking me and you, fellow Nigerians, in some cases, youth corpers, people who are not full. You would think that they are not fully committed to the impunity game, but they are the ones who did these registrations. And they are also banking on them being the ones who will superintend the electoral process and allow the madness to pass. It isn't the little boys who registered themselves, and it's not just the politicians, it's everybody, me and you, who have said that we are working for INEC. So yes, INEC as an institution lacks the institutional capacity and the honesty to do the right thing. That should be clear to anyone who is looking at them, and this has been the position for quite a while. But there is a second leg to this. Upon identification of these flaws, we also have a duty to bring them to the notice of INEC, and the process by which these complaints should be laid have been properly laid out as well. When these have been done, and INEC now fails to act on clearly identified problems in the register, and there are several. That is why I say that it can't be left to INEC. It cannot be left to those in the campaigns. It is part of the efforts to reclaim our citizenship. As imperfect as this horrible system is, we have to find a way to make it work. So it is on all of us. INEC is not going to give us. You hear that part? Give. INEC will not give good elections. It will be entirely up to us to make it happen if it must happen.
Thank you very much. So I think I would like us to have this program. Let's say the next for the next 20 minutes. I'll have this interactive session with you. Then probably the next 30, we'll have people come up here, ask you questions, very short, brief questions. Let's just have this conversation because for me, I just want us to have. I want to know I understand where you're coming from right now. This INEC, it is a campaign of we, not just you guys that have made up the PCC list and the Obidati campaign itself. It's an obedient movement comprising of everybody. But let me come in right now to you guys, and when I mean you guys, I'm talking about the campaign. I'll still come back. I know you will still tell us it's obedience. Yes, but so let me ask you now. How far? What do you think about Tinubu's drug and Deloitte scandal? I just broke up.
You shall want to put your finger in my mouth. Okay, let me put it this way. I think there have been sufficient evidence placed in the public space that anyone who is waiting to be told that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is reflexively criminal and is involved in drug running and drug money laundering, the person is essentially fraudulent. I do not engage in fruitless task of seeking to awaken a man who is pretending to sleep. Anybody who is capable of reading, owns a phone, watches TV, and says that he is not convinced as to the criminality of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, such a person is essentially fraudulent. I will not waste my time seeking to persuade such a person to see what he has elected not to see. When you talk about his Deloitte, well, here is the thing. Me, I'm a lawyer. At least I was trained as one. I might now elect to run away from the practice of law because of my differences with the profession, but it does not change the fact that I'm obliged to give the man the opportunity to deny what David appeared to have uncovered. We already know that the man didn't go to any St. Paul Arrow lawyer because I doubt that any such school exists. We are equally aware that nobody appears to have any recollection of him at Government College Ibadan. And thankfully, he has himself recanted. And thankfully, the senior advocate of Nigeria, you people would like to call it senior advocate of nonsense, he has already said Mr. Tinubu studied for, he was homeschooled.
So I just want to come here in case we gave him a name on this platform. Lastus Irolabi Keyamo.
Irolabi
Keyamo. So
you people are not nice at all. Now is my learned senior you are referring to like that? My learned senior. No, you people, you go and bring your biro and your pen very soon. He will give you lectures, all of you. What do you know about law? Do you realize that he is a prosecutor of many years standing? Even people that he prosecuted, they sit together in the Council of State now. They are cabinet ministers together. Warn yourselves. Oh, what are you talking about? A whole Keyamo. As senior advocate of this country, please don't be saying that Irola Bike, take it easy now. So he was homeschooled, but when it now comes to this Deloitte issue, it's a new, when a man's past has been raked up for so many years, and you thought you had seen every evidence of his malfeasance, and then something that had become part of accepted folklore suddenly blows up again. You are now wondering, okay, so they are saying it's not his name. Now they are saying he didn't even work at Deloitte, where he was supposed to have earned all those fantastic bonuses, you know? So you don't even know which one is which one anymore. So frankly speaking, until I hear from Mr. Tinubu, I'm sure he will come on TV very soon. He will rigorously deny all these allegations and charges. You can count on the Jagaban of Africa to come out and deny this. If they are lies, they are lying. Like, you know, he's the only person they lie against in Nigeria. People just like lying against him. Hmm. So he will come and deny it. Don't worry. Deny it.
Okay, so that was on the lighter note.
Abi?
I, because I know I've not seen him on TV before.
No, he will come. He will come. It's you people who don't have faith in him that is causing all these things. He will come. Why won't he come? Very eloquent man. He speaks in tongues. You people just don't understand him when he's speaking. He speaks in tongues. You are the one. The taste of the fish is in his spoiling. When you know how, it's because you people don't understand how to speak in tongues. That's the problem you have. If you understood
Is it
the
that we don't
logic
understand
of,
how to speak in tongue, or we don't
you
understand how
people
to
don't know how
interpret?
to speak in tongues. That's the problem. It's because you don't know how to speak in tongues. You will notice that when he speaks in tongues, some people will come, they will interpret for you. They will explain what he has said. So it is you people who don't understand this language that struggle with comprehension. You see, the commoner bread is poison for the rat in the church or the mosque. Just not getting it right. That was what was causing the problem.
Oh my God! Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Okay, the
Thank
mother
you.
is the father of the child now. You don't understand.
I heard yesterday he said on the dead fish in the you eat dead fish in the food.
Look, my people will say ọ̀rọ̀ burúkú tó ń tẹ̀rín. It means that when something becomes tragicomedy, this is our life we are laughing about, in all honesty. And some people, you think that they are sane, rational human beings. Some of them, money was spent sending them to schools, but they gain no education. They're actually coming out and they're asking you, not only they are not even ashamed to admit that they are voting for this person, they are also seeking to persuade other persons to vote for him. That is the part. I really don't have any problem with Mr. Tinubu any longer. He has been sufficiently introduced to the people. I think we should actually focus on those that would know all of these things about this man, will be aware of the moral baggage, will be aware of the capacity deficit, they will be aware of the criminal tendencies, and they will still not only vote for him, but be shameless enough to be campaigning for him. Those are the ones you should be worried about, not the man himself. The man is not to blame. It is those who have won borrowed gabs for him and elevated him to the status of a candidate. He says more about our society than about the man. That is what I think you should be. And even we in the obedient movement, we should be more concerned about the kind of people that are supporting him and what it says about the country we live in, not about the man. The fact of who he is has been sufficiently established. It's not something, it's not like, look, if Tinubu, if your daughter brought home a man like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, said, oh, daddy, I found a husband, and the man she has brought home, you are not sure of his name. You are not sure of his parentage. You have no knowledge of his provenance. You know, when you have a dog and the dog is of no determinable breed, you call it a mongrel. So your daughter has essentially brought home a mongrel, a man of no determinable pedigree or origin. And that is the person she has brought home. Oh, he has money, all right, but the money was made from questionable means. But this is the man she has brought home. Would you sanction such a marriage? Most of you, they are prepared
Oh,
to let such a person.
sir, we lost you. We lost you in the past 30 seconds.
Yeah, I said they will not allow their daughter to marry a man of such. I know a call is
Well, I
trying to
think
come in, and that's what's causing the problem, but I keep cutting it off. I said they will not allow their daughters to marry a man of such questionable character, but they would hand over a country, supposedly the largest country in Africa in per population. They will hand it over to a man they wouldn't allow their daughters to marry. So I think you should focus more on the people themselves, not really on the man, Tinubu. Is a reflection of the society. How did it become an issue that a society will be confronted with such a despicable character and it will still be debating whether that man is fit or unfit for the office? And I'm not even talking physical fitness, which is obviously not the case with him. He is unfit physically, he's unfit morally, and intellectually and integrity wise is definitely nowhere to be found. But like I have said, it is not about him any longer. It's about the people who has normalized his quest, because ordinarily it shouldn't even enter his imagination that with his moral and integrity baggage he should be volunteering himself. But that is who we have become as a people. So use it as a barometer for where we are. Not, it's not about Tinubu. I think we actually escaped. We are pretending not to see what we should see. And what should be obvious to us is that this is actually not about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's about us. It speaks to who we are. It speaks to who we are. Angels don't build hell. That we have built. Look, it's not by accident. They point at Lagos as the center of excellence. That is what we are reaping today. This is the center of the excellence of madness in Nigeria. And the man himself, shamelessly, is wandering around claiming that he built Lagos, because every other state in Nigeria is actually even worse than the nonsense that he has built from the collapse of the country itself. So every one of them, the failures grinning away in our home state, they will be pointing and say Lagos is the center of excellence. Why won't they say so? When they are the center of putrefaction and Lagos is pretending, they are constantly painting the tomb, painted sepulchre everywhere you turn. Even the state itself, after 23 years, how much of its facilities are usable by those who have ridden roughshod all over it? How many times has Tinubu himself used the general hospital or Lasut? How many of their children are going to the schools that they have superintended for the last 23 years? How many roads have they built in the last 23 years? How many? What have they done in 23 years? I live in Lekki. I've said this ad nauseum. How many square inch of water, pipe-borne water, how many have they built? How many water mains? Where? In the whole of the Lekki Peninsula, maybe in parts and parcels, maybe parts, less than 10%, 5% of Lekki Peninsula itself, that's phase one, might have periodic water from the public mains. That is the peak of their planning, 23 years. And that is the man who is coming to boast that he built Lagos. And we are debating it. It's not about Tinubu. It is actually about the failure of the followership and the complete and total absence of leadership. That is why we are looking at a man like him and having a serious debate. Can you imagine? We're actually having a serious debate about a potential criminal, a career criminal, taking over the governance of the largest black nation in the world. Something is intrinsically wrong with us. This is not a conversation we should be having. That we are having it speaks more to us and about who we are. It's not about Tinubu. This is not really about Tinubu. All this idiot issue, it's not about Tinubu. It's about us. It's about us.
honestly, honestly, sir, I most time I'm looking at myself and I'm looking at the values I uphold as a person, and I know that I can never for one day come to the life of me and say that I am supporting somebody like this man. So yes, I appreciate the fact that it is about we the people, but I'm not trying to play. I'm not going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to say we still have a huge. In fact, I believe they are in the minority. I want to say that
Look,
that they
bros. It was Pastor Oyedepo, and let me repeat, he's not one of my favorite persons. Pastors are not my favorite persons. But he said something recently that I think we should pay attention to. He said he will know the number of madmen in Nigeria by finding out the number of people who might be voting for the APC in the coming election. I have an opinion that sort of dovetails in with his own. You see, I have for years talked about weaponized ignorance, spoken to weaponized poverty. I will know just exactly how effective those twin evils have been in their deployment against the Nigerian people by the result of the election. I am happy to hear you speaking confidently in testimony of the capacity of the Nigerian to rise above this madness and to rescue ourselves. I believe so myself, and that is not to say that I don't have my doubts sometimes. You know, there are times when you are alone and you would have your moments when you are wondering if the people might just somehow find the capacity, or if they might yet again succumb to their baser instincts and allow religious or ethnic thoughts, considerations to thwart the capacity to birth the change that we are threatening to birth. These thoughts do come. I share your confidence to an extent, but deep down inside of me, I'm just settled that we're at an inflection point. Something has to give. Is either we are going to bet a country that is found on sanity, or we will solidify our madness and confirm that we are lost forever. Because I don't know how we would have a Peter Obi as an alternative on the ballot, and then anyone will be voting for either Etiku or a Milokon. It does not make any sense. So I want to believe we are saner than that. But that is without prejudice to the fact that my liver still shakes from time to time.
I will advise you, sir. I will advise you to please be coming on our platform. I promise you, your liver. You will now. If you come here for 2 weeks, I promise you. You can use a burner. You must not come and speak. But I promise you, if you come here for 2 weeks, your liver will re-energize. But let me bring in my brother Otumba here. Otumba, we have a question for you and probably a comment or something. Otumba, you're welcome to the space.
Thank you, Saddam. Thank you, Uncle Daly. I'm going to call you Uncle Daly. Permit me, sir. I think mine is more of a comment. I've been in and out listening. I have meetings this morning, but I just wanted to say, when this election started, or this electionary process started, when Tinubu was nominated, as a Yoruba person, I really felt down because I felt like, why would it be the worst of us? They decide to push ahead, but then the real hope was a friend ferry. And growing up, I remember very well, listening to news, and a friend ferry always came up in radios. But you never really, you didn't take it serious. But I wouldn't say over the last couple of months, I've never been more proud as a Yoruba person, with especially the position that ferry ferry has taken. And it's unfortunate, there's a proverb in Yoruba that I'm going to paraphrase. They say a house that is enjoying peace is because the bastard child hasn't grown up. And unfortunately,
Ilé tó ń tó ọmọ àtibẹ̀ ni ò
I
tí
feel,
dàgbà.
and it's unfortunate that I've never heard a friend has had this, some issues, but never nothing to where someone is trying to divide the group. And I'm hoping Afeni Ferry opens up his membership to people. I hope it's a more easy process because a lot of us, we need to join that movement. We really need to. I've never been more proud to see a group is representing my interests. So, and I think one question I do have is I know apart from, I don't know if this has been asked before, but apart from his endorsement, are there any other activities that Afeni Ferry is doing to actively ensure we help deliver Southwest for Peter Obi?
Okay. What I'll say to you is this. It's been encouraging to hear you speak about Afeni Ferry. I attended my first Afeni Ferry meeting, I believe, in 1997. And then I stopped attending all Afeni Ferry functions in 2002 because I had some fundamental disagreements with the group. But I went back a couple of years back at the origins of Chivayo Adebanjo. And I must say that one of the wisest decisions I've taken politically is to return to Afeni Ferry because
we're in that season where clarity is important. And if nothing else, Afenifere has clarity when it comes to his ideological positions. These are positions that date back over 70 years, and they've remained constant. Now, to answer the question about membership, we definitely would be looking to open up our membership nationwide, because we are not a sociocultural organization. We're a political organization. Afenifere is the Yoruba name for the action group. We don't have a platform currently for contestation of election, but the alliance we currently have with the Labour Party and the Obidati movement means that in the Southwest, we are involved in the election campaign processes. So in almost all of the states in the Southwest, you find that the Afenifere, the local branches are involved with the Obidati campaign and in effect the Labour Party campaign apparatus in each of the southwestern states. So that is the extent of the involvement. Opening up the register will definitely happen, but we want that to happen after the election. We have learned a very important lesson about quality membership from the last attack we suffered from the Tinubu cabal, particularly their Akure charade. So that has taught us that we need to be very careful, because even within Afenifere itself, we lost our organizing secretary to that madness. He was the one who was writing the fraudulent release and signing on behalf of Afenifere. So you find that even amongst 12, there was a Judas. So we just want the election process to go so that we don't make the error of the past by bringing in people who have no value to add beyond seeking to use the organization as a political stepping stone to relevance amongst the Yorubas. We want to avoid that, but we are definitely opening up our membership processes after the election.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Because I was advising my brother Otumba, Omar, and my fellow Yoruba brother. I say, please, I think it's best you join Afenifere now that you guys are young. Get across with the process. Not when you guys and we are, because as we do come on our spaces. We also have mini Jagaban. When I mean mini Jagabans, his lower version, people that think like him, people that act like him, that come up on spaces to defend him, and those guys, I believe, they will also want to occupy Afenifere in the nearest future for their own political and selfish gain. So I think it's a welcome idea opening them after elections for younger people to join in.
No, we're definitely opening it up.
All right, so let me just come. I'm going to open the room right now for people to speak and ask questions and probably contribute. What I have one personal question from my friend, Mr. AY. He's doing a whole lot of he's the convener of the Southwest for P2B, and they're doing a whole lot of jobs in the grassroots. He's meant to be here on the space, but he's right now in a very thick village trying to push. So he asked the question. I said I should ask you, please help me ask Uncle Dele Faro to me about the presidential campaign taking place next week, Wednesday in Ibadan. That he wants to know. He wants to know what you know. He wants to know you guys plan literally what you guys are planning for the people of Ibadan, and if they can come in to help. Are you there, sir?
Okay, I was muted for a second there. Let's say I know as a fact that there is a lot of coordination between the campaign committee itself and the volunteer groups on the ground. Those are the local support groups. The Obidati support group, we have, I think you have Take Back Niger, for instance, and you have Clean Up Niger. You have a few, and they are on the ground. I know that these coordinations are ongoing. The one thing that you can take for granted in any OB rally or campaign is that the people will be the centerpiece of that discussion. It's not about some carefully scripted roadshow where the people do not matter and it is the razzmatazz of the production that is scripted for TV. No, the people will be involved and it will be centered on them. And the people in Ibadan would have advance notice of just exactly how they will be able to participate. I believe it's on Wednesday. So I'm sure by around Monday at the latest, there will be sufficient information in the public space for those who might want to join in to do so. I'm sure that will happen by Monday, if not by Saturday, Sunday. I'm sure some people are already on the ground and they are aware of what their roles will be, but there will be clearer directives to the public itself before that time.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Let, let me bring in the lady. I'm going to start the question and answer for her with Uncle Dele here with Liberty. Liberty, you've been patient with us, and you see your patience has paid off. You'll be the first person to have this interaction, Mr. Dele. Please, let's try and keep our submissions or our questions as short as possible. He promised me 1 hour, except you guys are going to beg him to stay beyond 1 hour. But he promised me 1 hour, and it's 1 hour I'm trying to keep to the time. So let's try and make our submissions as short as possible. Liberty, you have the space. Please go on.
Thank you so much, Saddam. I'll go straight to my question. Uncle Dele, it's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance today and to be able to speak to you directly. I watched the day on YouTube. You broadcasted your talk about your PVC or your gun, where you were talking to Nigerians in terms of the importance of the next coming election. The question I want to ask, because that talk was a bit frightening and at the same time uplifting all in one go. Considering the revelations of all that is happening currently in the Nigerian political landscape as we find it now, how would you, in giving that talk again, knowing what you know now, how would it turn out in terms of interpreting the using your PVC or your gun in coming out to ensure that Peter Obi wins the election next year?
Sorry, I didn't get the name. Sorry, can I get that again?
My name?
Yes.
My name is Liberty Champion.
Liberty. Now, see, there is a beauty to telling the truth. What it does is that it tends to make you eloquent, and then the person who tells the truth ends up seeming wiser than they might actually be. When I gave that talk, your PVC or your gun, I had clarity as to what was going to be happening in the future. And it's exactly what is happening today. What I said in that message was that you would have only two ways of changing Nigeria if you are going to ever be able to change it. And that you were either going to be changing it through the instrumentality of your guns, or you were going to be changing it using the instrumentality of your PVC. I then went on to explain at the time that all the banditry, the terrorism, the militancy, because we have different names we give to the madness that we have normalized, that has seen people picking up the guns in rebellion against the overbearing state from which they want relief. I had already seen this happening, so I knew that the only way we were going to ever be able to reverse the trend would be to reconnect the people who are the victims of all these eruptions to the process, the only one the system has set out by which we might be able to change our lot. I also said in that lecture, if you remember, I believe it was a 4-part series, I made clear that if we manage to reconnect the people in sufficient numbers to the electoral process, that would serve to galvanize the change. I said at the time that we would all have to move beyond ethno-religious differences and considerations to coalesce behind one man who would represent the sum total of our hopes and aspirations. That was what happened with Peter Obi. People who have not been interested in politics, people who had never registered to vote, those who had registered to vote probably voted once or twice before and abandoned their voter's card somewhere, are beginning to reconnect with their card because hope has been rekindled. So if I had the message to preach again, I probably will say exactly the same things I said when I was preaching that one, because if you go back to listen to it, you'll find very quickly that it's just because you people, you don't see me carrying Bible and standing behind the pulpit. You should be paying me prophet offering. Sheikh Kiyamo is telling you to go and bring your Bible and paper. You people should bring your Bible when I'm talking and bring your pen and paper as well. I will stand by each and every word I preached in that message. 4-part series, I believe. I think it was either late last year or early this year that I gave that talk. And I stand by each and every word that I preached in there. And even the timing, I stand by every word there. Is what has led me to today. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if I did not believe at the time that today would happen. And if it had not happened as I expected it to happen, it happened exactly as I expected. And I'm happy I did what I did then. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Let me come to you, Jimmy. Jimmy, please, you have the space.
I said I want to talk about Jimmy. Jimmy, sir, the work you did going to the courthouse.
Yes.
That's my
Yes.
brother. Jimmy is the one exposing Tinubu.
Before let me introduce Jimmy officially to Sir Deloitte to me. Sir,
Yes,
the
sir.
next person I'm calling right now, he came on our space last week and he told me he's in Chicago, that he's going to go to the courthouse himself and get the hard copy of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's case in the court. And
Oh.
so many people thought he was joking. He went, he filed and got the court case, and he's with the hard copy. So let me bring to you someone that I know he's on his own, his violence. He's a
Yeah, the
violent.
people who put Tinubu in jeopardy. Okay,
Yes.
don't come to Lagos.
Jimmy, you're welcome.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Saddam. Egmodele, I greet you, sir.
Well done, bros.
Eku Ashikari. So, I decided to go to the courthouse, and shockingly, I wasn't the only person that actually came to collect. It's not a big deal. I mean, I paid about $15 to get the file, and I was the third person that very day. That was 2 days ago, 15th. I was the third person that came for that document that day. So
Jimmy,
I used
yeah.
yeah.
Me, I can even show you my email from like 3 months ago. We've been trying to get that document for so long.
About the
So
Tinubu. Exactly.
yeah, well, I've been getting threats, different kind of threats. Some people have been telling me not to come to Nigeria. Some have been telling me in Chicago here, and different kinds of crazy, threats. But oh well, we all have one life, and I told them, if you have the opportunity to shoot me, just make sure that shot counts, because if it doesn't, it's gonna be generational. So yeah, quick one. I mean, with all the drug investigation they did on Tinubu, the truth of the matter is they didn't find a single drug on him. That's a fact. Because I spoke with a lady there at the courthouse. They didn't find a single drug about him. But every single document they have has pointed him towards laundering money for them. And he's basically a kingpin. He tries to stay away from the product or firearm or whatever. But yeah, they know he's doing it. They know he is doing it, but he's just giving orders. They have records of pages, communication, and everything. But that happened in another country, right? David came out with an expose yesterday again. In fact, it was amazing, because I reached out to David to ask him if he would need me to go to the university he went to in Chicago here, so I can get the hard copy as well. But not knowing, he has actually requested for a subpoena to request for those documents, which came out. Deloitte came out to deny. They never had anyone that worked with them, and the certificate he tendered, the Chicago University certificate he tendered, is different. The one he gave to INEC is different from the one the school issued to him. So, in fact, the one he gave INEC was downloaded on Pinterest. Someone brought out the site at which you can easily just create a fake certificate. So it's on Pinterest. I'll upload it on the Jumbotron very soon. So now, having all this documentation and this new proof, right now, I'm definitely certain he is qualified to be disqualified from the race. Do you think, because it's in the electoral law, do you think is qualified to be disqualified? That's my question, sir. Thank you.
Well done, eh? May God grant us victory in this battle. Let me quickly say this to you. I don't share your optimism about the capacity of our judiciary to deliver justice. The thing about Nigeria, unfortunately, is that the poor get judgment and the rich get justice. Bola Tinubu is sufficiently rich and powerful enough to compromise our judiciary to ensure that he buys sufficient time to go on to become president. At least Peter Obi's case, I believe that case dragged for 3 years when he was fighting to reclaim his mandate from Ngige. That should tell you just exactly how equitable we are and how effective our judicial system is. But like I keep saying, there are two sides to these issues. The fact of Bola Tinubu's criminality and unfitness for office is not in doubt. We can have this argument about disqualifying him. We can even speak to whether INEC should even be contemplating or countenancing his candidature. But you must not walk away from the fact that if you have given the same weight to the votes of a professor and that of a functional idiot, it then means that you would have to necessarily suffer the consequences of democracy. I am actually more interested in finding out if we are sufficiently insane enough to enthrone such a despicable person. Are we really that far gone? That is without prejudice to the fact that I believe he is qualified for disqualification. And I believe that if the laws were to be properly interpreted, he should have, if these allegations prove to be true, he would have perjured himself on oath, because those are sworn declarations, and that would be sufficient to disqualify him. But I would actually prefer to see him on the ballot, because I'm interested in knowing, are we truly this mad that after 7.5 years of a disaster like Buhari, we will now crown and top it with a catastrophe like a Milocon? No, I don't think. So I think it's a dual view issue. Legality is one thing. The human experiment, where I'm trying to find out if we're actually capable of the level of madness, is another thing entirely. So as far as legality is concerned, he has no business anywhere near the presidency. He should be disqualified.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Okay, Otuma,
I
go
also
on. Otuma, we're losing you. I'm trying to push. Okay, Savik, let me bring you into the conversation, please. Savik, go on real quick, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and Mr. Dele, for gracing us with your presence. So I just wanted to follow up on the last speaker, what he asked, because it is so I've been so furious since yesterday night, since David Hundein published that article around the certificate forgery and perjury and all that. So my question I'm going to ask you on this, I know you don't really have too much confidence in our judiciary, and so do I, but what do we do in a situation where the umpire is already complicit, right? Because I'm still wondering how Bola Ahmed Tinubu was able to get security clearance or the background checks with INEC for him to stand as a presidential candidate in the first place. So I just wanted to share more light on it, because we are not just talking about the national implication, we are equally talking about the international implication. Because right now, the story out there is that a drug lord and someone that is impersonating another person is running for the presidency of Nigeria. And that alone is even a big blow, right? In terms of the image that we have outside this country. So what do you think is, INEC, how would I put it now? INEC contribution here, because you cannot tell me that they didn't conduct their background checks to determine actually whether someone is actually qualified to be a presidential candidate or not. And then the DSS, in United States where I am, someone like Abel Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot pass security screening. He cannot pass it. So the question is, how was it possible for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with all these baggages, with all these forgery, with all these drug case, able to pass security clearance to stand as the flag bearer for the ruling party? So I don't know if you can share more light on that. Thank you.
You see, there is this thing, they say that what a people tolerate becomes the culture. It is not, it's easy to focus on Bola Ahmed Tinubu as though he were to be some outlier. He's not an outlier. He's merely the most successful in a succession of bandits and crooks who have managed to find their ways into power in our country. So let's get rid of the false outrage first. He's merely a type. There is nothing about him that makes him an outlier. It's just that he's a successful member of his class. He's successful in managing to transmute from a crime lord into what you will call semi-respectability of godfather. That is normal in Nigeria. Each and every one of your godfathers has one background in criminality or the other. Now, when you now look at the laws, can INEC, without an application being taken before it, so motu on his own, disqualify anyone? I don't believe so. It would always be a function of other people bringing a petition to his notice, or probably even going through the court, which is what the gentleman in Abuja has already done in relation to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I am aware that a suit has been filed in Abuja, if not even more than one. I know suits have already been filed in Abuja seeking to disqualify him on the ground of these perjuries. So when you bring the application before the court, and the court now prove reluctant or unable to act on the basis of these petitions, we can then speak positively to judicial collusion. But as of today, you can only speak to a speculation that is likely to happen based on past happenings. But for now, those who believe, I repeat myself, I want to see what would happen. I would prefer to see the man run. Let me even find out whether we are sane or insane as a people. But the legality of whether he's qualified or unqualified, fact of the matter is that there are sufficient basis for his disqualification if the legal process works the way it should.
Thank you, sir. Sir, please, I want to do this. This is your first time on the violence space. This is one. If you can ask around from Nana, they will tell you how much this space means to obedience. It is one space that when we get hit by a whole lot of bullets, people come up here to get recharged, and we have been waiting for you. Honestly, for me, 1 hour for me is much.
The only reason we booked that now is because I'm actually scheduled for another interview at 6:30. So I was hoping that I would be with you until 6. I'll be able to grab a bite before getting ready to go into that studio. That's why I said 1 hour. I can give you another day and join you for another hour. No, that's not a problem.
Okay, please. I don't know. For me, if we could do it back to back, we have our space on Saturday. I could schedule that space.
Let's chat after the show. I have a person who arranges all of my schedule and ensures that I don't scatter things, because I can be something of a scatter brain sometimes. But I have a PA who manages my schedule. I'll share a number with you after the show, and I'm sure that once you get in touch with her, she'll manage it. We'll find another date and try and make it soon. so that we can have a continuum to the discussions.
Okay, guys, you've heard it because I
I
really
promise I'll come back. I promise.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I will just allow my sister. Let me bring in William real quick. William, guys, we're gonna conduct the space even if when Sadile leaves.
That's
You
my
heard him.
favorite person you are bringing in. Where are you?
I'm fine. Good evening.
How are you
I'm
doing?
okay. Thank you for coming to our
Nice to.
space. Well, I
Pleasure
don't
is all mine.
necessarily have a question for you, but I just want to tell those Agbado people on the space because I know they are here and they are using burner accounts to listen. You guys are getting very sloppy and I'm getting disappointed. You guys are changing mouths too much. Initially, you said it's a lie. Tinubu has nothing to do with money laundering, nothing to do with drugs. We said, okay, no problem. Your Mr. Mugu went on air. I don't know how he became his son, embarrassed himself. We said, okay, no problem. He even went as far as Googling words for us. A whole lawyer, he's Googling things for us, quoting people that don't have any law certificates. He's quoting their Google screenshots. We said, okay, no problem. Now, we said, okay, no wahala. So why exactly are you guys now saying that if you have a problem with it, take it to court? So you know for a fact that there is a court case there. You know for a fact that it's a strong case. But you guys are banking on the fact that the judiciary system of this country is messed up, so we don't stand a chance. I hope you guys saw what happened in Kenya. You guys saw it, Abi. Keep underestimating Nigerians. Keep underestimating the law in this country. It will shock you people. Don't worry. Take it to court. Take it to court. Take it to court. By the time it gets to court, I want to hear the tune you guys will sing. Maintain one energy. Stay consistent. Because now somebody has gone to the Chicago district. They've given us hard copy. David has given us soft copy.
My sister.
So what why
you say let them stay
mouth?
consistent.
Maintain consistency. 1 minute you guys are here.
Please.
See, maintain energy. Maintain energy.
Wait, let me I beg, just wait first, please. I know you don't want to talk to Sadini. Let me allow one more question for him, or one or two more questions before he runs out. So we did together in our space with this. Let's bring in. Let me allow. I'm going to bring in Real Best and Archie. Please let the question be as short as possible. We're going to schedule a very long space with him, probably hours. He will spend time with us here.
That won't happen. No, I'm not doing 3 hours. So let it not.
Or how many hours will you give us? Let us say that on the public that we are big on accountability, sir. How many hours will you give us? 1 hour is not enough.
I'll do 90 minutes next time.
90 minutes. That is
if you have ever seen me after coming out of the pit snake and the snake pit that is the Twitter space, you pity me. You won't even ask me for 2 hours.
Because you respond to everybody that one.
We'll give you. And guys, if you're okay with 90 minutes, let me see emojis. Thumb up if you want.
For 2 hours.
You better
if you want 2 hours,
it.
you can get 2 hours. So let's beg for 2 hours.
Minutes. Enjoy it.
Let's get 2 hours, please. 2 hours will be okay for us. So we
want my network to go off after 90 minutes, Abby?
We will buy data. We'll buy data, sir.
Want that my network will just disappear after 90 minutes. Is that what you want?
No, it will not disappear, please. It will not. It will not. So let me just allow 2 more people ask you a question, and then probably we'll wrap up this session with you and fix that date that we know, okay, officially you're coming on the Vawulence space that day. 20 minutes with Daily Faro to me on the Vawulence space.
I hear you.
Yes, extra time now. 90 minutes now, full time now. We'll go play extra time, Sana. So that's 120 minutes. So thank you. You never best. Please let your question be real quick. Max Obesi, and welcome. I see you, my brother. Then Archie, just these 2 people, please. Real ever best, Archie, real quick. Then we'll continue our conversation. Real ever best, you have the space.
All right, mine is not even a question. Uncle Dele is so good, so nice, so refreshing, to have you on this space.
Real ever best, please, if it's not question, let me
to hear praise now. Nothing improves my hearing like praise. Let me hear praise. Is it only when they're abusing me I should hear? Somebody is praising me and stopping it.
Praise me, Daddy. You know we praise now. She is praise you want.
Uncle Dele, don't mind Saddam. You have answered all the questions that need to be answered. So there's no question that I want to ask you again about your answer, because we actually follow you, your interviews, everything that you do on social media, every interview that you go for. We always listen to you. So it's for me, it's actually great, fighting this battle with you, and even you coming on this platform. This platform is one of the biggest platforms. But what I just want to say is this, please, when next you go to Arise Television, because in that Arise Television, our biggest enemy, anyway, let me just say it. It's the man they
Is
call, what is his
Ruben.
name again? Ruben Abati.
Ruben.
That man, I don't know which part of the hell he came from.
If I
Please
had the
tell
money
him that
today,
those
I would
people,
embarrass him.
please tell him that those people that is quarreling with those social media people, that we don't know who they are. Because he seems to be battling with unseen spirits. He seems to be persecuted by unseen spirits. Please tell him that obedient are those people who march on all the streets of Nigeria without killing anybody, without beating anybody, without leaving the street untidy. That those people are the obedient who are obedient. That those people who go on markets on the street of Nigeria, in offices, in bus stations, preaching obedience without actually beating anybody. Those people are the obedient. If you see those witches and wizards that Ruben is fighting with on social media, that we don't know them. Social media is not anybody's village. It's not anybody's address. Because the fact is that he does not have anything against Obi, so he's quarreling with social media people. Please, when next you go there, tell him that Obi supporters are those people who have causing any problem without being rude to anybody, without being sarcastic, without insulting anybody. In short, obedient are the people who have been persecuted, who have been called names. So please, when next you go to Ruben Abati, tell him that he should try and find out who is battling with. Those unseen spirit is battling with on social media. Those people are not obedient. Please tell him that. And also, please, when you have a chance to talk to P2B, please tell him that he should stop defending social media people. Those people are nameless. And the reason why they always corner him to make apologies for people he don't know is because they want to use it as as a platform to always tell him that his supporters are rude. We are not rude, sir. You have been with us on this space. We are not rude. We are very cordial. We are intelligent. We articulate. Please give Ruben Abati. Let him go and fight his village people. Let him please fight his village people that is disturbing him on social media. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Archie, please.
I will deliver your message. Don't worry. I will deliver your message.
I disagree. Me, I'm rude. Today I will catch one of them in a restaurant in Texas. I will take them back. Mark, no, they won't worry me. Me, I'm rude. Ruben, yeah, I'll catch you. Ruben, me, I'm from Ruben.
All right, Archie, please tell me real quick, please.
Dr. Ruben is our
Good
friend.
evening, sir.
Good evening, bros.
Yes, I'm no stranger to you. We be friends for Facebook and we share mutual brother. I do more, So
Okay.
I don't they follow your worker since all the YouTube lives, every single thing. I mean, you've been speaking this truth to power for quite a while now, and it's so beautiful to see that everything is unraveling exactly the way you said it over 9 months ago. Now, my question is very simple. 2 questions, and I'm going to ask you the questions on the basis of your capacity on Afenifere and then your capacity as a PCC member. Based on your capacity as an Afenifere member, I am curious, being a political group, please, is there any plans on ground? Are there any plans on ground for liaisons with other socio-political groups? Because I mean, if it has been activated for Peter Obi and his mandate, sorry to use the word mandate they shake now. If it has been activated for Peter Obi's movement, I would imagine that it would be activated on every other sphere of Nigeria through other groups. So is there any collaboration going on, and how effective can it be till the election? The second one is, we have uncovered, I mean, we are not strangers to the demonism of our umpire, INEC. We have finally uncovered the fact that for over 2 decades now, these people have been voting with children. We have evidence. At your capacity as a member of the PCC, are conversations going on the stake of the party or the stake of the movement, obese PCC movement, to challenge these situations, as it were, because we are doing our effort as volunteer groups, but we'd love to know if the PCC is even aware, and how much what would I call it? How much work is being put in place to make sure this is also a strong conversation in this space. Thank you very much.
All right. 2 questions. So let me take you one by one. See, the Afenifere is part of a conglomerate also known as the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum. That conglomerate also comprises of Ohaneze Ndi Igbo. It comprises of PANDEF, and it comprises of the Middle Belt Leaders Forum. So 4 out of the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria are represented within the conglomerate known as the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum. That group is headed by Chief Clark, and we meet periodically in his house in Abuja. Now, over the past 2 years, that group was having series of meetings, and it arrived at a conclusion that power must rotate back to southern Nigeria. And we made those demands, and one of the culmination of that was the Asaba Declaration by the southern governors, where they declared that power must rotate back to the south. So even before we settled on a Peter Obi candidacy, there had been a groundswell within the south, aligned with the Middle Belt, to make sure that we find common ground, and we did. So by the time we had already have that agreement in place, when Peter Obi now became the putative choice of all of this conglomeration, we came out, we were the first, Afenifere was the first to come out to announce that we were supporting Peter Obi. Immediately after us, the Middle Belt Forum also came out. PANDEF has not been as equivocal in stating its position, even though it has adopted the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum position. And Ohaneze only came out recently. So, insofar as it relates to joining hand with other regional conglomerations to support Peter Obi, that is already happening. And you are already seeing, perhaps as a function of Dati's involvement and joint ownership of the ticket, you find that even northern groups are coming out to speak unequivocally on behalf of the Obi-Dati ticket. So this is already happening across board. Now, when you now speak to the demonic capacities of INEC, let me say this. We were not unaware of what to expect from INEC from day one. In fact, the fact that they cannot be trusted is good for us. We already know what we are dealing with. So it's always going to be about trust and verify. So we found all these irregularities, and we are definitely addressing them. As I speak with you, there are several people, and I've already made this appeal earlier on today, that other people should get involved in scrutinizing these registers so that we all compile these things together. I know that the Kato and some other persons in the campaign group marched to the INEC head office today. I know that lawyers, as I speak with you, even my own law office where I used to practice before I retired, I've already asked them to give me a legal opinion on some of these issues. So I know that on multiple levels, consultations are going on to find out exactly how to tackle these issues. But the most important thing is that we already know that we cannot trust INEC. Knowing we cannot trust them enables us to prepare to neutralize the worst effects of their corruption. But beyond making sure that we put them on notice and making sure that we are, because if we are involved and if we are all engaged with the system, it becomes that much more difficult to compromise the system and to use it for fraud. If we are not involved, then people find it very easy to get involved in the situation where we then become irrelevant. Well, if we are involved and we stay focused, yes, we'll definitely be able to make a dent and change the system. But we just have to keep fighting. We can't afford to take our eyes off the ball or to trust INEC. INEC is not to be trusted at any level.
Thank you very much, Baba.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you, sir. Sir, thank you. Please let me
No,
just
don't worry. We'll
Max
conclude on
Obesi.
that one. Don't worry. I promise. I'll reach out.
Thank you, Max Obesi. Please, you have a minute for the
Yeah,
question,
not
please. So
keeping
wrap
you.
up with your question. No, I'm not keeping you. I'm wrapping you up now. I'm wrapping you up now, sir. Max, please, just please, 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, thank you. Leonard Senior, thank you for coming on our space. And I am one that have always advocate that you come on our spaces. And if you can recall, we connected a few weeks ago and we're having a quick chat in the DM. But that's not the issue today. I'm really very grateful. And I just want to thank you for your service, for taking out your time, putting your foot in this muddy field of politics. And Nigerian politics is very dirty, as you can see. I just want to ask just a brief question.
Go ahead, please.
I have been really impressed with the sort of job that you, yourself, and the elders of the Afenifere have been doing recently, speaking out truth, because truth is something that is missing in our society today. I'm just wondering, because I've seen a lot of movement and a lot of ideas that were built by reasonable and good thinking people, but when they pass on or when they leave the stage, those sort of ideas die and untimely deaths. So I'm just thinking, given the sort of challenges that you're facing, especially the attack from the Southwestern politicians, what are the modalities that you have put in ground as a group to see that this what Afenifere stands for, that the younger generation that is to come will be able to carry this touch of greatness and this touch of saying the truth? How do you intend to push this beyond your generation, and what have you doing? What have you been doing to bring the younger generation to what you've been the ideals that the Afenifere stands for? Thank you.
Thank you. You know, the problem with this question is that you people end up making a man feel like an old man. I am 54. I'll be 55 my next birthday. Baba Debanjo, who heads Afenifere today, is 94. He will be 95 his next birthday. So you can already see that there are perhaps a couple of generations between the two of us. Afenifere is found on truthful ideas and ideology. It is found on the idea of the common good. That is why the name is Afenifere, the one who wants the good of all. We have no doubt that Afenifere would exist long after we are all gone. You will be alive. We are found on truth. As long as truth is told in this land, there would always be men fit enough to wear the shoes of Afenifere. Chief Obafemi Awolowo found Afenifere, I believe that was in 1951. But 51. It's late today, but because he found it on ideas, and that's why when I speak with obedience, I try to make us understand that, yes, we are being spearheaded by a man. There is a man as the arrowhead of the movement. But it is only when the movement itself is about truthful ideas that the movement will subsist beyond our own lifetime, and it will not be just a fad that burns out in a moment. What are we founding the obedience movement? Is it found on justice? Is it found on truth? Is it found on equity? Or is it merely about a person and his ambition? It is the truthfulness of the Afenifere ideas that has kept it alive. It is why someone like me will stand with it. I left it for almost 20 years before going back to it. But I have gone back because the truth on which it stands has not died, even though I was revolted by persons. Afenifere has only emerged stronger from the crisis of Tinubu's tribulations. And it will stay stronger over time because the same truth that found it 70 years ago are still existent today. People have died, ideas have evolved, but the truth is constant and it will not die. So I'm confident that Afenifere will stand. We're in the process of reorganizing and we'll do that more aggressively once the elections are over. But we're confident that we'll remain the yardstick for measurement of ideas as long as they are truthful. We're not worried about longevity. We know we've survived already. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
We appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I think you have tried. You have gone, giving us extra 15 minutes.
You drag it out
Guys,
of me. Bye bye.
let me
Okay,
let me
sir. Thank you, sir.
let me hail you small now before you go. Now,
Oh,
sure you've never
hail
hailed me.
me, make I hear.
Make I hear you small.
Nothing improves my hearing like praise.
I swear, but this one are true praise. That true praise. Sir, you're a great man. First,
Thank
you're a
you very
great man.
much. Thank you.
You've done well to be here with us for this 1 hour. Honestly, it's like we just spent 15 minutes speaking. It's a privilege to talk to you. People
Thank
have
you.
come here to say how much I wouldn't say I've been following you for that long, but ever since I started following you, one thing I've known is that you've been consistent with your message. Even before I saw you joining the obedient movement, I was praying. I say, God, I beg, make this man who can talk say he won't vote one person. I know I'll call a name. That one as money I should shake. I say, I just they pray God, make this guy there our side, because there's a person there are people you will see and you see what they stand for, and you know this kind of a person is someone that if you are an upright person, you will follow him. You are someone that I think you're an
Thank
exemplary
you.
person that
Thank you.
people should follow. The youth, my
Thank you.
generation should follow and look up to. So thank you, sir.
God bless you. Thank you
I
very
think
much.
please keep coming for our spaces. I'm going to schedule that space with you, that
No
120
problem.
minute
No
space with
problem.
you, and we'll have more time to spend listening to you,
Bye.
probably
Enjoy yourself.
energize the base more. Thank you very much, sir. God bless
Bye.
you.
All right.
The space is going to continue, but the Sadele is going to be off for now. Guys, thank you for sticking with us. It's the violence space. I appreciate. I think we'll have just reactions. Then probably we'll just continue on our topic. INEC is corrupt. I was saying something earlier on before Dele came in. INEC, they dropped a circular. And my friend Wellbeing in Nigeria came to my DM and he said he can swear that he knows INEC are listening to us through their burner accounts. INEC, while we're on space, dropped a circular because we are putting fire in their asses. I keep telling you guys this thing. What we do on here, if there's one organization that wants to always show that they are not biased, it is INEC. So when you see INEC, you scream. Whatever you see that you're not satisfied with INEC, scream out with your voices. Let your voice be loud for them to know that we are seeing. I believe they're also unblocking so many people that they blocked. I'm getting reactions that people say they have been unblocked. So it is showing that we are saying the right things. Let's just keep doing it. As Dele said earlier on, that we should remember, INEC is not for us. Always take this to the election poll. INEC is not for us. We as a people, we have to come together as we have always done. Proper solutions. We are big on solutions in this camp here. We are always talking about solutions, what can be done. Please, if you are in any group that you need more hands for you guys to be going through that list right now, please come up here and let us know which group you're in. What do you need? What is the help you need? People to get involved. We need hands, all hands on deck, guys, please. All right, Otumba, my brother, thank you for joining me. Let me bring in Archie, your hands are up. It seems you want to say something real quick before we
Yes, let me
right.
just say it real quick. You've heard what Saddam said. I belong to a group. I think Ngozi was the one who hosted that group, and she has broadcasted it heavily. Wayimi, Magnific Dude, the rest of us know the group. If you need, we lack a lot in reporting. We have those numbers. We need people for reporting. So by all means, you can go into Ngozi's handle. Ngozi's handle is Ngozi Allegria. At Ngozi Allegria, you can ask
Why
Wayimi.
don't you actually, why don't you post it on the Jumbotron? It makes the work more easier for people.
Oh, okay, so I'll post it and then you help me post it on the Jumbotron. So by all means,
send it to my DM. Then I'll send it to this DM.
Yes.
Then I'll do that.
Yes, I'll send it to your DM. We need help with people who can just. The work is not hard. All you need to do is pick that thing. We'll give you a video instruction. You go in there, you do the reporting and get us the PDF. It's work that you can easily do. If not data you define, no worry, we'll go find that I give you. But by all means, please volunteer. Your 1 hour, 2 hour can change anything that is going on right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, brother. Please put your hands and put your hands to work. Let people see. Let not just come up here to speak. Be doing something. Be doing something, please. Thank you, guys. All right. Chimezie, you have the space, please. Please, 4 minutes, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sada. It's another good time here. I've been here for the past 3 hours. I heard all that Uncle Dele said. We're making progress. Today was a banger in Port Harcourt. I think more importantly, speaking about the topic, INEC, it also shows you, Saddam, my brother, that what we're doing here is being heard, is being echoed around the world, around Nigeria. INEC is now behaving well, but we can't rest on our oars yet. This is just the beginning. INEC has to clean up that register. That register needs to be cleaned up, especially in the north. I mean, this is the same independent body that took off almost 2 million registrants from the south, and then only coming to the northern part of the country, and they're telling Nigerians to do their job for them, the job they are paid for. I mean, I can't get it. It's beyond preposterous. You know, it's a good thing we are raising the issue now, and I want this issue to be on the front burner for a very long time, please, because I think the only obstacle we have now is that body, that electioneering body. If we're able to make them to do what they're supposed to do, if we're able to make them to stay neutral as much as possible, staying neutral and conducting a free, fair, credible election, there is no way we're not going to win on a landslide that we have already been projected. We're supposed to win on a landslide. Look at the massive mob that followed the P2B today to the commission in Port Harcourt. Everywhere he goes, he gets a lot of acceptance. He gets almost 100% acceptance. He shows he's one with the people, and INEC will not be our stumbling block. We must force them to do the right thing. We must force them to stay neutral on this particular issue of elections. INEC must be neutral. And I mean, it shouldn't sound surprising to us, Mr. Saddam, that at this particular juncture, PDP and APC seem to be in bed. Nobody is saying anything from the PDP camp in regards to this register. So it shows you that this has been a grand plan to have these underage voters and double registrations up there in the north, so that when they now start churning out those numbers, even the beavers cannot detect it. But it's good. I think some members in INEC are also sympathetic to the Nigerian cause. They are tired of this election process of rigging, and they are now making that register open. This were, I believe, some of the anomalies that happened in 2015 and 2019 following, right? Where we had these youngsters churning out these numbers in the KKK Northwest, But this time around, we're saying no to it. It will not stand. We are going to have a free, credible election, and at the end, P2B will emerge victorious in a landslide, and Nigeria will celebrate, and then we'll march on to the redemption of the country that we have always dreamed of. So that most of us who are abroad will have every wherewithal to come down to Nigeria and invest. Our investment now is going on to welfare. If you come here, a lot of people are talking about kidnapping and all of that. You're sending money for feeding, which shouldn't be so. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. We'll still stay in the background and follow up with what is happening, but we have to press on INEC. INEC is the problem right now. Before any other thing, the electioneering body must be neutral. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you very much, my brother. Even if the electioneering body is not neutral, we as a people, we will show them that we are going to hold them responsible. And even without them being neutral, we as the people are going to make sure our vote counts. That is what we're doing right now. So I'm very, very happy of how woke we are right now. We are very, very woken up. Thank you, my brother Otuma. Please come in here, please.
Yeah, I just want to say, when I was first, I'm glad you said that, because when I first looked at the list, and at first, you feel some type of way because you're looking at kids and multi registration, but then I'm like, you know what, this is what we've been going through for so many elections, but right now, it's Providence in 2022. We finally have where INEC can publish lists and pictures of people. Now I know we might not be able to fully cleanse out the list, but the pressure we're putting on INEC is working. I really believe it's working. It might not be going as fast as we hope it is, but we're doing our best. And there's something Saddam used to say everywhere. Like, at the end of the day, regardless of what INEC does, all that matters is our turnout. If people turn out and we get the numbers, there's so much INEC can do. Like, they would try. They would try. And it's also funny that PDP and APC boys, even the ones that claim that they are smart, they're quiet about this. It just tells you how rotten and how corrupt. And when they tell you about structure, this is what they mean. That's the only argument. It's not about qualification or what the person can do. That's why I've never been interested in any issue-based debate from the get-go. I've never been interested because it doesn't matter to them. It's about this. So I know. I think Kevin also has a group. If Kevin is here listening, if you want more volunteers, if you guys want to send me the link, I think I can post it on the Jumbotron. I'm not sure if it's there. If it's outside, I'm trying to say I don't think we have one. If you want to join that groups where they are disputing various, irregularities and all that. So, Kevin, please send me a link.
It should not be. It should not be. If you want to join, everybody should join.
To join,
Everybody
yeah.
should
So,
join.
but I think some people do it where it's more. It's some like Archie said, it's organized also. Some people literally have groups. That way, you're not doing double work. You get assigned, I guess, a particular ward in a particular
Actually, you've
group.
not sent it to me. Or send it to
I've
me,
said
please.
it here. The one I am aware of is that there is a central group. The central group has been broken down exactly the way Otumba has said it into subgroups. So there are people identifying the numbers, the people reporting, there are the people compiling who will now, collect every single thing, all the evidence, and hand it over to, I think, PO lawyers. There's a group called Lawyers for PO who will now move this to the stage of legal action. So there's
You
a
sent
full
me.
stage. I've sent it.
You sent me names. Names of. You didn't
Yes,
send me
those are
the
the
group.
handles that are. See, the thing is, there are people.
Wait,
That's
did
Dr.
they contact people's
Kelechi.
handles? They should contact. Ingozi is coming about it. I think he said
Yeah,
Ingozi is
that's
coming.
Dr.
Please let her come
Kelechi,
up. Please, if she's here, let
Ngozi.
her come up,
I
please.
just brought
Okay.
out.
Okay.
Kevin, come up. I know Kevin too has a group. If Kevin is
Now,
in,
true. All of them, I'm
collaborate.
gonna come up.
Yeah.
Come talk.
Please, if you guys, we have people that are in the building. Please, if you're involved in this, please come up so that you can talk about it. Let people follow you guys and reach out to you guys. Please, everybody, we need you guys following these guys, reaching out to them.
Yeah, Ngozi's up here. Ngozi, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't think I've ever spoken in violent space. It's always nice.
For real? Lanai, I don't believe that.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Sometimes I'm
Now,
always
lie, you don't talk, madam. Which I'm saying I've never spoken of violence.
Ataya.
Saddam. Na me what attack.
Ha.
But it's always
I
fun.
won't wipe you court for the Can't you go say you've never
I
spoken of
don't think
violence.
so because sometimes I'm very busy at work, so I just listen in, Jerry. Don't mind me. Anyway, thank you so much, Saddam, Omar,
Thank
everyone
you,
for
miss.
what you do. I actually run this group where we report this stuff, this INEC irregularity, and we have like three groups, like three subgroups. One is checking for irregularities, another one is reporting, and then the last one is compiling it. And I'm also in touch with the lawyers, so I just need more hands in the reporting because we have lots of people going and seeing irregularities. So I need more hands in the reporting part, please.
Sorry, who's Dr. AI? I think Dr. AI too is also has a group. But Ngozi, please. So do we just have to follow you, or how does
My DM
one
is
join?
always open, so if you don't want to follow me, you don't have to. So if you just send me a DM, I would definitely send you the link, but I always scrutinize before sending the link to them.
Yeah, please, thank you. That's important.
no,
Guys,
go add
please
that,
follow Ngozi.
Like, I
Please
don't
follow
want
her.
to work. They
Send her
can't work,
emails.
but they're just useless.
They don't get.
Sorry,
Just
I'm not seeing who is Ngozi. What's the handle? I'm not seeing the Ngozi
Real
here.
ever best. Real ever best. Get beef with me.
Ngozi.
I mean, you don't block Ngozi.
I mean, you don't block her.
I no
You know
block
what?
her. No, that girl. No, I don't mind that girl. Sha. I no block her more. I no block her.
Una
Okay,
dey fight.
is it your own Ngozi? Ah, God, I don't even know self. Don't worry.
It's well, eh? Mona go na
It's
DM
well.
settle it. You should settle the
It's well. No,
settle
Go
nobody.
to
the
the
No, we don't have
DM and
problem.
settle.
settle it in the
She's not
DM, eh?
being funny. She's not being funny. No, mind her.
No, please. You don't dey do love voice. Wait, you never best. This is not your real voice. Please, settle it in the DM, man. It's very, very important. You take that voice to the DM. Thank you, eh? God bless
I
you.
beg.
Let's move on. So, guys, please reach out to Ngozi. Please, let's try and get this stuff done. We have few days. I don't know how long do we have, please, Ngozi, please.
About 8 days. We have until the 25th. So,
Guys, please, everybody, please do something. If it's just one one word or one polling unit itself, you do. Please, it is something. This one contribution you have done to the movement. If it's just 1 hour, look at we have been here since morning till now. That's why I spent close to like 8 hours already on this space.
But I kind of feel like we might even dedicate a space to it, like just to like that day. Everybody is going to do one word or something. Like
Sorry, Otumba. I spent 3 hours today and I covered just 25. That's the body of work.
You covered just 25 words or 25
Just
polling units.
25 people. What you need to do is identify, copy, verify your own self as being involved, and then reporting and getting the evidence.
It's tasking.
I've done over
Not be
80,
small.
so please, we need more hands, I beg.
Guys,
I feel like
please volunteer. Please, we need more hands.
because
Please.
I'll follow you. I'll send you a DM. I think I'll get on it too. I think everybody has to. Yeah, we need to dedicate.
Please, if it's 10, you can do. If it's 100, you can do. If
it's
50,
part of it.
please.
Is there a particular region we're focused on?
So this is what I do.
I think everybody can choose any region now. Or
No,
say what
because if we do it that way, then we'll have confusion. Like, because we only need the VIN number that will be sent to the group B. So what we do is I give them like a local government to work on. Like, each person has their own local government they work on, and then they just have to give me the VIN from like the polling unit they are working on.
Some people are asking me, can people in diaspora help if they don't have PVC?
80% of my team are in diaspora.
Oh wow,
So,
yes. So
yeah,
please.
80%. I even got one. I had to help him overnight because it was stopped. So it was in US, and it's even better because when one is sleeping, the other one is working. So it's better.
Yeah, diasporans on this space, please. The plenty pass on our spaces, please. You guys do a whole lot of work for us, donations and everything. Please, we need your extra. You will not come back home and vote, please. As you come home and vote, most of you won't come back home to vote. Please do this.
We don't have power or internet issues, so
you don't have problem with internet. Your problem is not data or something. Please, diasporans, get involved, our people, get involved, please. Get involved, get through the process, bring more people that are in diaspora that are not even on Twitter. Let them get involved. We have from now to 27th, I guess, so we have less than 8 days. So please, guys, get involved. Thank you. Ngozi, probably I'll leave you up here. So if anybody will have any further questions for you, can ask you, or let's see how it goes. Let me bring in Mr. Ola. You have been going on and off. I don't know if your network or you're in Babylon.
Yeah. Saddam, good evening.
Good evening, sir. You did Babylon?
I guess somebody has been reporting the space. I really don't understand why it all keeps just shutting down like that. Okay, for me, actually, I have been scrutinizing this INEC of a thing. I have a lot of screenshots I have done. I guess I have been able to send that to Yusuf or in his DM, and I guess I've been here. I contacted this OB lawyer something, and I've been able to, as in, put up a conversation with him. I dropped all that to his DM in order for him to just cross-check, because everybody now has nobody, as in Obidati has one person in each and every local government. That's one thing I'm very sure about. In each and every local government and each and every ward and each and every polling unit, there is one Obidati there. So in as much as that stand, everybody could go to their ward first and check those lists one by one, check those wards one by one. I guess that's what I've been doing since morning. Actually, I have screenshotted a particular ward. I am trying to go to the second polling unit. So I guess in as much as we have one Obidati in every polling unit or every ward, they should be of help and they should be of assistance. And again, another concern about this thing I've seen is like we shouldn't concentrate it to the north, because we are not on the north, and I have seen like in a particular polling unit, I've seen like more than like 20 persons who are being registered like yes twice or thrice, making the amount of number of persons on the polling unit or the total accredited voters to go on the high side, which is not supposed to. In a place you're supposed to have like 19, or in a place you're supposed to have like 900, you're having like close to 1,000 or something. So in as much as those numbers could amount, we need to find a way to at least get them to be accurate. So we should not concentrate it to the north alone. and we shouldn't make it look as if yes, it is if we are having it in the north, it's still happening in the west, it's still happening in the east. So we need to scrutinize that so well and then get things done straight. Like I'm going to follow Ngozi and then send everything I get to see in the other polling unit to her right now, so we could just move forward ahead. Thank you, Saddam.
Thank you very
Sorry,
much,
Saddam, can I
Oscar.
quickly just say something?
Yeah, go on.
Please, could you send me, like, are you reporting to that? I just want to find out. Are you reporting or you just have like screenshots?
Oh, presently, actually, I am not actually reporting. I'm only having those screenshots. All I'm just trying to do is I'm going through those names one after the other to see those ones that have been registered twice or thrice, and then I screenshot them on my phone, keep them, and then forward them to the right. I've not been reporting. I've not actually joined any of those groups
Please,
presently, but all
I
I've
think
been
it's
doing.
I think it would be best if you report and then send me the PDF. Then I'll have like a compilation of it.
So
But you can send me a DM, please.
Okay, I'll do that. Ngozi. Thank you.
all right, thank you. Guys, please send Ngozi a DM or follow her, whatever case that suits you, please. Let's get this stuff going on.
There's someone is raising a question, Adara, and I think Adara raised a question. She raised a question. I think I need more clarification. So because basically, Adara, I think I actually like you to talk if you want to talk, because how are we so sure PDP and APC are not even reporting other people? Like the INEC dispute, what is the essence? So for example, if I go in there and click on someone that actually registered the right way and the dispute is filed, what is the process for INEC to verify if it's a real or fake? And how does would that automatically get removed because someone raised a dispute?
No, it's not going to get removed now. It's going to be filed as a case. Then these are those particular names that will be cross-checked. That's what it means. So if you like, go and say because you see Saddam face for it. I'm coming. I know where you're coming from. If you see my face now, you don't like my face, you go and report me. Abi, that's what you're saying.
Well, yes, and then then the second one is how do we even know if after INEC has done it, like will they republish the list again?
Yes, they'll republish list now. That's what they said now. They released the circular today. As we're on space now, they released the circular.
You have the circular. Can you post it on is it on Jumbotron?
Just go to INEC website. Go to IC website. INEC and their handle on Twitter. They release a circular. I read it.
No, if they never block me, I'll go check.
No, let me don't worry. Let me find it and bring it here.
They
released a circular. So what the idea is this: they said they released this stuff because that this is the first time they're trying to be transparent with Nigerians. As they talk now. But at the end of it, the whole stuff is this: that when all these names are compiled and brought to their table, their job now is to, from now, if all the names they're not cross-check and say, okay, these people that have double registration, either they cancel or they clear it, make it just one. If it's underage voting, they check it and remove them. Just all those quick check and there's. So if you carry my name there now, you see my name there, you want to report me, you report me, fine. I like to go and check and see I have just one registration and I'm still back on the list. You get me, right? Automatically, you get me?
It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
So that fear of somebody reporting, if you see good voters, no, it doesn't spoil, it doesn't change anything. So let me, you want to bring in
Adora,
Adora, come in, please.
Good morning, everybody. Sardam, Otumba, thank you so much for yes, morning where I am. It's just 8 a.m.
Where are you, please?
I'm in Canada.
Oh wow, good morning, huh?
Good morning. Guys,
why your voice changed for Canada?
Who?
Your voice.
My voice.
Why you hear Canada? Why your voice? Your voice.
I did Nigeria. What Canada want to bring me? Otumba.
Oh,
go ahead, my sister. Go ahead.
So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's good that somebody brings this to our notice so that we see basically what's going on. So first of all, for INEC to ask anybody or leave something as sensitive as this to the general public, that's already a red flag, right? yesterday we were trying to do this cleanup, and I'm throwing up my inverted quotations up in the air. This INEC cleanup, we're trying to do it yesterday, and one of my brothers tried to, you know what, let me see if I can even report my own account, my own profile. And he goes ahead to do that, and it works. Now, Saddam, you've just said that even though some people can report anybody and blah, 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 just because they don't like their face, that INEC will still clear it up. The thing is, INEC knows how messy this can get because there's so many scenarios and ways that this will play out, and you will end up being or finding ourselves in a cluster F, literally, right? INEC, I feel like they threw this thing open to the public so that we can raise up all these concerns, and then eventually they'll come up and say, you know what, it looks like we should just scrap the beavers for now and just go back to the previous voting, what they call it. Because the truth is that there is no indices, there's nothing that will tell you, oh, this account can be flagged, or this profile can be flagged, or this one can be flagged. And if you're saying they're going to clean it up later, if they're able to clean it up, everything is digital, Abi. It's not like there's going to be human beings, INEC officials trying to go through it manually. So if everything is going to be digital in the end, what's to say that there won't be mistakes? What's to say that even people who are legitimately registered would be disenfranchised and cancelled? Because anybody as it is now can flag anybody. So imagine a case where APC or PDP guys go online and are just, on mass rampage flagging and just flagging everybody. It's like, oh yeah, make everything just cuckoo spoil, right?
Let me come here. Let me come in here now. Apart from the few people we know here now, probably my face, Otumba, and the rest. Who can you now? Can I give you a list and you tell me who is a PDP or APC voter?
Let me tell you how.
How?
No,
Let me
you
tell you
can't.
how. Let me tell you how. See, for example, in Lagos State, they know what local governments and what areas vote particular ways. And all I just have to do is be a sport. Like, for example, in my Ikorodu, I know what areas in Ikorodu are going to vote, typically tend to vote APC, and I can be a party pooper. See, this exercise, I'm not the pessimistic type, but Adora is making a lot of sense, which is why I hope our legal team is literally looking at the back door. Because, see, what ANEC is asking us to do makes no sense. This is things you can do with tech. I work in fintech. There are so many ways to verify so many things. I've never seen any country throw it open to where, okay, you people, we've collected millions and millions of information of people. Okay, you people go and verify if these people are real or not. It's just defeatist. It makes no no logical sense at all in my opinion. Which
It's
is why,
open season.
yeah,
Everybody is flagging everybody. They
yeah,
don't care
and
if you're
then
APC, Labour, they're flagging every single person.
the person is what? So whatever. No, so does INEC? We didn't manually check the millions of entries people are going to flag. How much time? How much? So okay, if they're not going to manually check, if they're going to, are they going to run a program? Or is there AI they will use? Why didn't they use that AI from the get go to catch that before even sending out to the public? So it's like there's so many components to this where I'm just like, wait a minute. We'll keep doing what we're doing, but our legal team they have to get, like, this is, I don't even know, even if the candidates are going to speak about this, it's something just smells foul to me. It doesn't make sense. You cannot throw open people and say, people go and we registered kids in certain region. Well, you should come and tell us that these kids are real or not. Like, it just doesn't make sense in my head. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, and looking at the amount of work it would take to even go process those disputes. I know how long it takes to process a dispute. Like, even Equifax and TransUnion and Co. Those big companies that, they have millions of dollars in equipment they use, and it takes them weeks to get it done. So, I'm just.
Otumba, it's deliberate. INEC, like they threw a bone at us and, letting us go for it. I mean, these people are master planners. Believe me, they're going to just come up tomorrow and say, you know what, this whole thing is a clusterfuck because everybody has just been reporting everybody. So I think we should just scrap the beavers for now. Blah, blah. Believe me, like you guys, Saddam, now, you're always thinking ahead of all of these idiots. I mean, think about it. Does it even make any sense? It doesn't make any sense.
Honestly, I'm just trying to play. I'm trying to play safe here. I'm not me. I don't want to go ahead of them. You have a point, but I've read INEC. I've been saying it from the beginning that INEC. I said something earlier on here. If you're on the space on the I said, if INEC wants, let them say Nigerians line up. Let them do poster. P2B line up here. Poster of Peter, Atiku, Tinubu, and say everybody line up behind the poster and we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across polling booths. If INEC want, let them go to manual. If INEC want, let them go to spiritual. Anywhere INEC are playing on, as long as our job is to turn out voters in their millions, I will turn out voters in their millions. I don't fucking care. We're winning the election in a landslide. That is where I'm coming from. So if INEC are coming with any mathematics they want to come, any way they are coming, of which for me, they have already come out to the beavers, and I think it's too late for them to say they're going to go back on the beavers. First of all, they cannot go back on the beavers. If I wish I could read out these are updates on the ongoing display, their press release for today. Let everybody hear. It is too late for INEC to say they're going to go back on the beavers. They understand it is going to throw the nation into. That means they don't say that they're about to postpone the election. We have passed that Rubicon of saying go back to manual. We have passed that. If it's for that one, they know that Nigerians will not go and vote any election without beavers. So if there's any other mass you can give me now, my sister, let me think from that place. I'm trying to enter that your school of thought now, but no, I can't enter there because I know for beavers it's over. There is nothing that we will shut down Nigeria. Nigeria will shut down before we say we'll go back to manual voting or go back to their pre-2015 voting. It's not possible. We have left that place is, when they say Moses have crossed the Red Sea, we have crossed that Red Sea of using anything that is not beavers. We have passed that level. We are not going to go. So if there's a mass you can give me now, then let me enter your I want to enter your school of thought too, because I like thinking like a criminal. I've been thinking this one you're thinking now. This one is the Anini style. Your brain, you've gone to Anini level. Me, I think you don't come with Anini level. So I'm trying to.
Adora fear me, oh.
I'm trying to come in. Honestly, I'm trying to come into your brain at that, but no. That your brain.
No,
They can't
I
even
think
go.
I think what she's raising is, I think it's more why
he's making valid points, but
why
it is
was more
going down.
West
How point is resting back on. We are going to INEC will say it's a clusterfuck and we should throw away. It is not. There is nothing on earth that will make us throw away beavers. Do you know how much they spent on buying beavers? Over 100 billion to acquire this beavers machine.
Which is, what's annoying? What's annoying about this whole issue is the fact that they could have caught this at registration point. And when I mean registration, I'm not saying where they were taking the pictures. Yeah, were those INEC officials compromised? Yes. But before they even accepted images in their
Otumba, let me read the third paragraph of this INEC press release today. It is therefore in the foregoing context that recent media reports on the presence of illegible registrants in the registration should be seen. The full display of all registrants speaks to the Commission's commitment to transparency. The fact that these likely illegible registrants are being identified means that the objective of the display for claims and objections are being met. We implore the public to follow the procedures and report these objections for the necessary action of the Commission. In addition, the Commission cannot rule out infractions by its registration officials in allowing these eligible people into the register in the first place.
They are crazy.
No. Otumba, you cannot.
You cannot blame
let me
people that are
explain
doing
why.
registration. I'm
So
coming
let me
out. I'm
explain
coming out.
why.
Don't catch this now. Did you watch that video of
Yeah.
one
But
small boy
let
that
me
was tested?
explain why. Let me explain why. So this is the problem. Okay, when you collect the data, doesn't mean you have to fully register that data. So when you go take your picture and I get your tongue fingerprint and I get your whatever, it sits somewhere first before it finally gets. Then it goes through. So me, let's say me, I don't collect money from APC and I'm taking pictures of kids. Once I get that information, it doesn't immediately get registered. It gets collected and stored somewhere. INEC should have then run its own verification system with AI software to determine multiple entries with pictures, with names, with date of birth. Like there's so many ways you can run it before you even register it. My
Well,
point is, it should not be. I know
Otumba, see what you
it's
talk.
pulling the cat.
Otumba, all this one you're saying now is that you're talking to people that say that have been using that 310 since. That's why you got upgraded to start using BlackBerry Bold one. Why in iPhone 8 that's using BlackBerry Bold one? You're saying AI. If you can't tell them about AI now, he will tell you it. You go waiting go interpret AI for you.
Architect Chicken
You go.
My God.
So please, I know you're as a tech guy, you're using your tech brain. Please, we are still using in INEC office. I'm still using typewriter. Typewriter is in INEC office. If you go to the office now, you go see typewriter where they do check up. You see they there. So please, don't ever don't give those people the kudos that they don't deserve. Please, I'm just giving them benefit of doubt that they haven't tried to tell us that we don't start tech. That we have opened it for everybody to see. So please, I'm trying to give these people a benefit of doubt.
Saddam,
Ada,
sorry.
calm down.
See.
Ada, wait
Okay.
first. Ada, wait. Let me allow some other people speak. Then you come, please. Because the way they carry my brain, I don't follow you go that place now. Please wait. Where in Nigeria? Come in first.
Yeah, Saddam, thank you. See, I agree with you. See, on BVAST, let's not be talking about BVAST. INEC cannot go back on BVAST. It will take, let me tell you how crazy it can be. For INEC to go back on BVAST, it's even better they postpone election to 2024. That to tell you how bad, how messy they know it is. Let me make it clear. INEC themselves, they are on a crossroad. As in, when you wanted to do bad thing, then it now backfire. Then you don't know whether to go forward or whether to go backward. INEC is in that position currently. And thank God to what we are doing here. If they are in that position, I acknowledge the point. In fact, to be honest, Saddam, immediately Otumba and Adora started talking about this thing. First thing that came to my mind was, no, because I don't even think those APC guys are that smart. I know some of them act smart, but I don't think so. I don't even want us to give them the idea.
I'm coming. Let me just ask Ada one question. Ada, unmute your mic, please. Unmute.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You heard Ati, my friend came here and said he spent the past 3 hours
Exactly
reporting just 20 to get 25 names.
Mm-hmm.
So you think APC, any person in APC, we sit down on phone or laptop,
bam,
as we are you now, like you're crying now, and I start reporting. Hey,
Saddam,
do
you know what these people have to lose?
They cannot do anything. Those people are dumb.
Oh,
they
calm
don't
down.
even know what you're talking about it.
Ada, can I explain something? Just very briefly.
Please.
You people rate these people.
Let me just explain something very quickly. All you guys are doing right now, and that's why I even asked Daily that very question is, you be like, I be like Python. When I don't go bonfire, put fire inside hole, you're drawing them out on things they didn't plan. This is part of the electioneering act. This thing they are doing, this confusion they are creating, is your electioneering act. If there is a designation for 2 weeks to do this rubbish, this thing, if they day. Normally, when they bring her come, all of us will just say, oh, election, our vote will not count. We go and play football. And so nobody they answer. You are now calling them out on their BS. Taking it the step further is what Dele said, and I'm going to use his words. He has already connected some lawyers to know what the options are. I know for a fact that them are compiling this thing to hand over to a group of lawyers. The next step is what I said earlier when I said that an INEC official has said, go the step further by bringing this thing, matching to the INEC National Office HQ, calling them out on international platform and forcing them to be back-channeled into a third-person verification, a third person auditing. That's where you win these jackpots. All the work where they do, there is no single one of them that can go those number of steps. So right now, you're not exactly. I get the whole devil's advocate thing where I mean we have to think like Agbado to win Agbado, but right now it's the other way around. They are not expecting you to go that further. They are not. Follow tweets like of people like Abdul Mahmoud has said. He said it earlier today. Gather in PDF. Go to INEC HQ. Give them 1 million copies of their fraudulent act. Call a world press conference where you have BBC and Voice of America correspondents. Mention it there. The country will be back channel to bring it out at least 2 to 3 billion to call Deloitte or KPMG or another independent verifier to come and verify that.
Deloitte again.
My dear, the real Deloitte, no be Tinubu Deloitte, oh, the real Deloitte.
I have PTSD with the Deloitte name.
Well, if Deloitte come here, the way where they go use clear that list, they go say that guy says this that country and that criminal say he worked for us.
They go postpone the election. If any of those guys come in, they'll postpone the election. I'm not joking.
So please don't overrate. Please, we most times I also say you overrate these Abado boys. They don't. Their brain is empty. Come. There's a come. That's what their brain
Let me explain.
If you give them phone now and say they don't even know how to open website safe. Just give them. You people overrate these people though.
Yeah, calm down.
They can hire
Apparently, the only two things that INEC know how to do is to block people and just count not paper. They don't even know how to count paper. They have to employ people to do it. Now, see, Uncle Dele Farotimi said something while I was here, and I think we should take note of it. See, he said we already did not trust INEC, right? So for me, right? I personally, I'm not going to get to Ngozi and get involved in this process more. But the truth is that, of course, this one we are saying. Let me be very frank with you. I don't even think they would, because there are two things that could possibly happen right after this reporting, which I think Ada is afraid of the second one. The first one is INEC will have to do some physical verification or a third party, not a third party now, like a third verification, which is something like what Archie is saying. Maybe if they are here, so they should listen to things that they can use. Maybe they can say, oh, some people go to your profile, if you are flagged, upload your passport, let's now see, or upload your particular thing, this particular thing, let's now see all those people that they register, all those children we also upload. That can be a way out. They may need to do some manual lifting, which of course, because Ada is afraid that they may not do it. That's why. The second thing is, one person will just sit on the laptop and say, okay, everybody that they have been reported, click Control D, a bit backspace, delete or just delete. That will not happen. Let me be very honest. That cannot happen. It cannot happen, and I'm really emphasizing that cannot happen.
You don't know that.
Do you know what?
That automatically cancelled.
I hope. Wait, what? I hope it doesn't happen, and I hope the legal.
Do you know that means they could delete half of the electoral register, like literally?
Yeah,
These people automatically cancelled double registration voters in South, right? They automatically, instantly cancel those people. Did we do anything? Over 3 million people.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but I'm just saying that it's a far-fetched possibility.
Wait, the question I have is the invalid votes they said that they cancelled more in the South and Southeast. How did they cancel it? They didn't bring it to the public before they cancelled it.
It was the second point I wanted to come to.
Otumba, now let me not come in here now. That is where I'm trying to tell people that there are so many people that are in that INEC office that are against what is happening in the government. And for them, this process is one good opportunity for you guys to do the work that they will not allow them to do in their office. By calling out this evil. This stuff is something that they should have done. It is their job to do this job now. But they won't allow them to do it. Do you want to understand? Do you know what it means to come out and say the numbers for the north is a lie?
One thing I want...
Do you know, I'm coming from Atuma, please. Do you understand what it means that say a job, you come out and say, sir, the electoral number for the north is a lie. There's the so-called KKK numbers. You come out and say it's a lie. They can kill you. So this is an opportunity for us to go out and disprove that number and say, CEO, we have seen it that it is false. Those numbers are not real. The workers can't do this. So it's probably somebody's job. So somebody's saving his head will say, CEO. You understand? That's just my own point, though. We don't know
See,
what's going to happen, but my own is at the end of this day, guys, mobilize people as much as possible. The power of winning this election is in our numbers.
so Saddam, sorry, to just put this more in perspective, I'm going to round up, and I have like 3 things I'll just say. First is that the truth is, I agree that there's a risk from what Otumba and Ada is saying, and we can't ignore that risk. It's a risk and it's there. For me, I really wish. That's why earlier when at the beginning of space when we spoke, I said something at that time, and I said I really wish that's where either Labour Party or I don't want to. I think the PCC is very busy. I don't like to mention PCC. Either Labour Party or is what I want to believe the lawyers of Peter Obi could try to do. 2 things they need to do is to get INEC to explain the line of action they are going to take with this data specifically, not just to say we are going to act. INEC need to explain now after reporting what next. Then 2, which might be a far-fetched, is for INEC to really now, because now we have a reason to now ask you, those people that you removed before, what was the criteria? Can you give us a breakdown of the criteria used to remove them? Then for us obedient, see, and I'm going to take this from what Uncle Dele Farrington said earlier. The first thing that this should give to us is that we need to do more. Because, if you are going to fight in a fight that you know that you're already cheated, it's different from if you are going to fight in a fight. I mean, if you are going to play in football now, if you are going to play a team that the referee will cheat against you naturally, you have to do more than if you are going to play in a fair match. So we need to know already. I think this knowledge of unfairness in our mind should drive us. Then the truth is that there's still a game from this opening, whether or not we like it, whether or not INEC even decide to say, oh, we are not taking any action, this is too tedious, let's just leave it like that. Hopefully, of course, they can't go to PVAS. I don't want to go there. The worst they can do is that, oh, we are not going to, the process of cleaning it further may disrupt the process, so we'll just leave it for the next election. Fine, that is all okay. But the truth is that the eyes of everybody will be on this election. What I'm not so concerned about the South is I mad. I go there Benin 5 years old picking go waka one book. The conquer I go give them for where they don't know where for come out. But I mean, in the North, I have a feeling that there will be cameras everywhere looking at the lines, looking at people. So the truth is that they may not even be able to deploy this tool because now it is in the open. I hear the mind.
My brother, thank you. Another thing that people don't understand is that Buhari is not on the ballot. That's what they don't understand. Buhari is on the ballot. Those people that will be paid or normally will be pushed to go out of their way to bring all these child voters will not take that risk this period, I believe, because we're going to make sure we put pressure on them. As you said, cameras will be everywhere. I just want to use the opportunity to say that I have a company that will be working with. I think David spoke about the company earlier on. They will be coming up with cameras probably before the elections. We'll have opportunity to talk more about our cameras, body cameras that will be streaming live through the app. Anywhere from the world, you can watch and see your polling unit. We're going to have people buy those cameras, mobilize wards, mobilize people on ground, mobilize our brothers doing the hard work in the North so that we will stream. This election will be the most televised election in the history of mankind. So if everything Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his gang of thieves think they are going to do to steal the election, I'm sorry for them. They're going to see Nigerians do the hard work and we will take back our country. So please, I just want us to have a clear heart going forward, because for me, I keep saying this, elections is 70% psychological, 30% groundwork. If you lose in the mind, you lose on the play, you lose in the field of play. So please, we have to stay focused and understand that we have the numbers to have a landslide victory. Whatever INEC want to do, now they're across. Let me bring in Ada. Before I come back to you, Ada, please calm down here. Let me bring in Ernest Ademola. Ernest, you have the space, please.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Saddam. Thank you, Otumba. The speakers and listeners, thank you so much. Quickly, I just want to first establish that when it comes to evil, these guys do not lack capacity. This is not to be pessimistic, but that is just the truth. They might not be upfront when it comes to what is good. Remember how they were quick to debunk the Arise News, what's it called, the press release and all that. They don't lack capacity actually when it comes to evil. So I don't think, let's not underrate them. Whether it's AI, whatever it is, they can go to any length. And then I shared some sentiments with Ada and the rest, but it might not be straightforward. But then I want to leave it at that. One of the things I think we should do in terms of they need public disgrace. We need to step it up. That's what I feel. And one of the things we should do, remember how Nathaniel Bassey did something about Jesus? I think Nathaniel Bassey, yes. And he announced it that also day everybody should change it with their DP, post it, WhatsApp, everywhere. I think we should go that route too. And it should be this INEC is corrupt. On a day, maybe this week or next week, we'll schedule one particular kind of design, simple, just like that design of Jesus. Just simple. Everybody, maybe by 12, everybody use as DP. Everybody post it. Everybody on WhatsApp. Let it be like, what is happening? People will be wondering, what is happening? Everybody. Once you do that first, it's now easy to even get a BBC. Like somebody
Let me
said.
come in here, my brother. Please, any digital, any graphic designer in the building, pro bono, that is ready to do a quick design for us. Alec is corrupt for a DP. Please just get into my DM real quick. Slide in. My brother, go on, please.
Awesome. Please reach out to Saddam immediately. Like we need it like yesterday.
Saddam, I go run now.
Baba
Awesome.
fan now.
Awesome. So everybody, you tell us when we do it, and so that it will be coordinated. Because I'm not happy that INEC is corrupt hashtag did not trend today. I'm not happy. So we need to do that. And image is powerful. So once that image is up, maybe by 12 or whatever time we agree, everybody across board, the whole nation in diaspora, everybody uses it. And trust me, one thing about these guys is that the one thing they listen to is power. That is power for you. That's what they can only convert. That's what one thing evil negotiate with is power. Power can only interact with power. If you do not display power, they can't interact with you. So that is one thing I think we should do. We do that, and then we can now lay maybe a 5 points, just like similar to NSAS. A 5 point, what we are demanding, we can make it clear. That is secondary. Make it clear, 5 points. It will be designed too, and we'll put it out there. Like somebody was saying, this is it. This is what you want. This is what, because we're not even clear of how they want to rectify it yet. This report. Imagine Amina was saying something that one local government over 10,000 underage. And somebody said just now that he was able to do just 20 in 3 hours. Like, it's just, it looked like a game. Like, they already know that this process, and they want to throw it to us so that at the end they say, okay, it was left to you guys, and what did you do? So I think that's something we should think about. But that would take some thought from us. But this first one can easily fly. So that's what I thought to just bring out. And I also want to also encourage, if you are working, maybe you're a CEO here, you have a team of people that work for you. We just have 8 days. You can also volunteer some member of your team to join Ngozi as well to do this. I also want to just throw it out there so that just beyond what you can do personally, you have other people, that you can, or even other people that you can sponsor to be part of this and let them do it as well. I think that would be great. You don't need to give anybody the money, but you just settle them and let them be part of this thing. So that is what, and somebody was talking about, let's not focus in the north. I think most of the issues are coming from there, especially the underage. So because we don't have time on our hands, it's not because anybody is unnecessarily I think we should focus on it. It's not it has nothing to do with any malicious move or whatever, but it's just the fact that it's what we have at hand. I think we should focus on it because most of the issue, the 1 point something that was